One. All right, we in this thing. So, hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Terrence, aka Sincere, in my Santa edition. I might rock this again next week,
Oh
maybe.
God.
Probably not. But yeah. So you know who we are. You've seen us. You've watched. Nobody's watching yet, but we still got time. We got plenty of time. Y'all
Come
know
join,
who? Huh?
come join us. I was telling you
Yeah.
to come join us.
Yes. So you know what it is. It's sincerely speaking. My homie, the original, the queen, and we got some fun topics to talk about today. I was gonna talk about a video I posted on my page earlier for y'all that follow, friends with me. We're not gonna discuss that this time. We're gonna kind of hold off, wait, and discuss that a little later. Oh, you know what? We ain't even got our names up, so let me put our names up. Bam. So you know who we are.
Thank you.
All right, so I should have brought a fan in here because it's getting warm already. This hat gonna come off real quick,
I
like.
bet Santa Claus.
So, real quick, I'm gonna give a quick rundown of what we're gonna try to get through um, for the hour. And matter of fact, let me set my timer. Don't mind me. Give me a second. And set my timer so I can get off here at a decent time. Cause the brother still got to eat,
Oh
and I
God.
got to see my son off to sleep. So, with that being said, so we're gonna do a quick rundown. Got about 8 things we're gonna try to discuss. If we can't get to them all, we'll push it back to another show. First thing we're going to talk about is first question. If a man proposes to his woman and she says no, is the relationship over? Second question. Can you make a person cheat? Next question. How do you trust again after infidelity, or can you? Next, can you date a person who's financially unstable? And I got a whole list of 21 things that if you fall in this category before you say no, you might want to think about it. Next thing, does having kids outside of marriage make it hard to date? Is it hard dating an independent woman? Also, is it hard dating being an independent woman? Is sex a suitable gift? And lastly, should married/dating couples have maybe 6 month or yearly reviews? So we're gonna jump this off. Start with the first topic here. All right. So first topic. Oh, my bad. My fault. If a man proposes to his woman and she says no, is it over? And also, if you're watching this, make sure you can leave comments. I'll be able to see your comments come across. I'll post those comments up as well. So hey, feel free to talk to us. We here. We ready to have some fun. So that's the first question. So if a man proposes to his woman and she says no, is the relationship over? So I'm gonna let you go ahead and jump on that, Queen.
I think you should jump on that
You
because
think I should jump on it?
yes,
Okay.
you are a man. You can probably answer that better than I can.
I mean, for me, um, if I propose, well, I can't now because I'm not single. But if we went back and if I proposed to my now wife and she said no, will the relationship be over? No, I mean I wouldn't. Well, honestly, I think it would depend on her reasons for saying no. If it was something that was understandable, then maybe we can work something out, figure something out, maybe. But for me personally, I feel like it has to be um, something big in order for her to say no. For me to actually just go and end it, I wouldn't just want to end it just like that, just cause. Um, but that's me. What's your thoughts?
Well, I don't think that the relationship, excuse me, should be over. I think it's just more so of a not right now. Just because a person proposes doesn't mean that you necessarily have to accept. And more often than not, especially women, we do. just for the sake of saying, oh my God, I got a ring, I'm married. This is great. You can't say no. Excuse me. And the relationship should be able to continue. Um, for me, a no is just a not right now. I think some men, their pride may be a little hurt. So they just want to dead the relationship, saying, well, if you can't marry me now, then we can't continue this relationship. And that's ridiculous. So I would say, in my opinion, it should be able to continue after a no. But I guess it just depends on that person. Most men have very, I'm not going to say that. Many men would be,
Say what you want to say. Go ahead.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to get into that. But many men would probably be, their pride would probably be a little damaged if they were to propose to their woman and she says no. But it shouldn't be that way. I think it's just a no. It's just possibly a not right now. You may need to find out if that's like a no, I don't ever want to marry you, or if that's just a not right now.
No, okay. Well, I did get some comments on that. So, hold on, let me bring these up. So, guy here states, yeah, it's over. Obviously, there's been a communication breakdown.
See, is that a man? That's a man.
Yeah. It's my guy Holloway. Let me see. Next comment here. Uh, El Devon says it surely raises a red flag.
What
Which,
raises a red flag is that you may have been prematurely proposing to her. That may be something. I think when you take that move to propose to a woman, you should probably make sure that she is ready. And if she is giving you a no, and it's just a simple no and it doesn't provide an explanation, it definitely is a communication breakdown. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship should be ended. It's just a not right now. Then you have to continue to communicate to determine what our goals are in the relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean this relationship is just completely dead because you won't marry me right now. You may want to get married at this particular time, and maybe she doesn't.
true. All right. So, got some more comments here. Said Jackson said, shit, it's over. LOL.
That's a man. That's a man and his broken pride. It's what's going on.
All right, so let's see what's next here. So, trying to get this one here. All right, Q said depends on if she has a valid reason for saying no at the moment. Same thing I said. Definitely agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I said. You have to just continue to communicate to determine what's going on at that particular moment. Why she does not want to marry you at this particular moment.
All right, El Devon came back and stated that maybe a little more time can be considered, which is
Yeah,
true. I mean,
yeah,
that's a big thing, like you said. I mean, just might not be the right time. Fleet looked like he responded to you. He said, "No, I think that it should continue, but the pride would." Never mind, it wasn't a response to you, but he said the pride would be hurt, which is understandable. I mean, I think, well, clearly for a lot of men, it takes a lot to take that next step and want to give somebody your last name, which is a whole nother conversation I've had in regards to the woman taking a last name. Maybe that could be a whole nother show. But yeah, I mean, if they say no, I mean, that's why I say it has to be something major for me to call it off. Um, I mean, but that's, me, I'm that type of dude. I don't really just throw stuff away unless, like, I know for sure it's a wrap. Like, it got to really be a wrap. Let me see here. And then Devon also said she could make him think that it could be somebody else. True.
because
Could
she
be.
doesn't want to marry you right now.
It could be.
How could it be? Would you rather her say yes and she's not ready to marry you and then
No,
now
no. Well, I'm just saying, anything's possible. Women be on some stuff sometimes, man.
really we're not gonna do this? No, we're not.
Hey, we're just being real.
No.
All right. Q said, I'm an Aries, so my pride will get in the way of continuing that relationship.
That sucks. You committed yourself to somebody only to ask to be married, and she says no, and now the relationship is dead. That was a waste of time.
And I feel like my Santa hat just flipped to the back. Like I needed to be over to the side or something.
Okay, gangbanging Santa.
This ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Boom. That looks really weird though. All right, we're just gonna move it back to the back. All right, please said depends on how long the relationship is. Another valid point. I mean, if it's 2 months in and you proposing, you might scare somebody away. Definitely. I mean, maybe. Some people like that. Some people might have did that, been married longer than many of us that waited much longer. So, I mean, it really comes down to the people, but that's not even the conversation. Let's see. Says that evidently someone is confused and has been given the wrong signals.
I swear. Jesus, help us.
Hey, I feel
Yeah.
like I need to move some of these questions because I got like all dudes right now, which, that question later on. Y'all make sure y'all keep watching because I got a question specifically for the fellas that I'm going to ask. And I'm really going to be looking forward to y'all. I'm taking this off. It's hot. Y'all's opinion. Ooh, that got real hot. Real hot, real quick.
In y'all hands.
Yeah. My guy Jason stated, I think it's better to hear no now instead of live a miserable life and never know why. But that would make me look at me, and if I'm looking for something she does, but don't give up. Very smart. Very smart.
See?
All right, let me see. Y'all giving me some long comments today, boy. You know what? I'm gonna keep it moving because we got like 8 things we trying to discuss. So I'm gonna go on to the next one. Where are my females at? Queen, where your
I don't
friends
know. I don't
at?
know.
Like,
I need some support.
yeah, you like the only person that's on here. It's like all fellas watching. My people watching. El Devon is one of your friends, right?
Where's your wife?
Um, I don't know. She in there doing something.
I need her help.
Hey. All right, so we're gonna go to the next thing here. So now let's be honest here. Can you make a person cheat? Do you think that you can actually make a person cheat? Now, of course, I started last time, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave this one to let you start. Don't go quiet on me now.
I got a lot about this one when I posted it on my page. I got attacked.
And my wife just said she's here. She's just eating.
No, you cannot physically force someone to cheat. But yes, I do believe that you can encourage and influence a person to go out and cheat on you. Yes, I do. I'm gonna leave it like that because, like I said last time, I got called an idiot. I mean, it's a lot of things that you can do that can contribute to someone growing apart from you. And whatever reason, that person may not want to leave you, whether y'all have kids or whatever the case may be. I do think that people can encourage and influence you to cheat.
All right. So coming from a woman's perspective, because clearly I have my own perspective. That's a given. So let everybody know from your perspective, being a female, why you think that way. You already know I got a lot to say on my part,
I'm
but I
I'm
just want to
just
know from a female.
I'm just more of a realist. I think people usually think in the aspect of what should happen and oh my god, this is just impossible. But the truth of the matter is people cheat. And I'm not saying that a person can hold you down and force you to cheat or any of that, but I do think that distance can be created between two individuals when there's a lack of something or whatever the case may be. Whether you a nag, whether you just simply a bitch, whatever the case may be, I
Oh
do
Lord.
think that it can be influenced to create that distance. I'm not saying that cheating is right or wrong or whatever. But I do think that there are certain things that can be done that can encourage a person to cheat. And honestly, when you do, and I'm not blaming you because people hate the whole victim blaming, but I think when a person is cheated on, it does take some self-evaluating in certain cases, because people don't really focus on who they are as a person with regards to a partner. They never think about who they are to that person. And I'm not making any excuse or saying that it's okay to cheat or any of that, but there are certain things that you can contribute to push a person away from you and push them right into somebody else's arms. I do think at that point that person should communicate that with you, but maybe this person has tried or whatever the case may be. If you know as a woman that you are not taking care of your business and you get cheated on, not saying it's your fault, sweetie. I'm just simply saying that you should probably do some self-evaluating, because we got on that conversation on the Facebook post because it was some video that went viral about this woman finding her husband in a restaurant or something with some other woman, and she ran up on him, she was swinging, all that, and everybody's like, well, you don't know what that woman has went through, you don't know what she's going through. Because my caption was, I can see why he cheated on her ass. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just more of a realist. Some people cheat for sport, and some people cheat because they just simply unhappy and they wanted to, whatever the case may be. But yes, to answer the question, yes, you can make someone cheat on you.
That was a long yes.
Sorry.
So before I even go into it, because you kind of said similar things I was going to say anyway. Jason has stated, I'm assuming you were responding to this. He said the young me says yes because I may have wanted that so I could, but older, no. I'm assuming it was for this response. And then let me see, I got a response from Q here. And he said, okay, no, you can't make a person cheat, but you can definitely push them into the arms of someone else if you're neglecting them. I've cheated before, but I should have been a man and left the relationship first if I knew I was unhappy. All right, and then
but you were still made to cheat.
And then let me see. Fleet said agreed on encouragement, but either a person will not let go of their old behaviors and isn't trying to uphold a relationship to establish a foundation with their partner. So, hold on. El Devon, I saw it pop up, so I'm getting them. Trying to get them as quick as I can. So if I miss yours, I apologize. El Devon says, well, if there is a lack of communication, there can be a problem that can be solved by being more open or just starting a whole. Okay, yeah, I was reading it wrong. My bad. Starting a whole person to be with, but yeah, younger I would. Now I'm wiser. Okay,
Good,
I can't read today.
Good for you.
I mean, my response to this, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people, it's definitely a thing of communication. But I think the biggest issue that comes into play is, yes, you can push somebody into somebody else's arms. If they're especially if they're communicating, that's the biggest issue. If they've communicated and told you what the problems are, and you basically choose and make a conscious choice not to take care of your partner, you're basically asking somebody else to step in. I mean, in today's day, and I mean, again, I won't say it's right either, but today's day, I mean, it's glorified to be the side chick. I mean, come on now. You got a lot of women out here watching, what's her name? Scandal. And she was screwing the president.
I like
and
that.
Clearly she knows you. Yeah, I know you do. Most women like that show. But I mean, you got to look at shows like that or reality TV where you got all these women, being the side chicks and so on and so forth, because it seems as though it's praised more, and it makes it easier for people to actually even cheat, because there's so many people out here now willing to participate and give you that out, as they say, I'm your out. that you're looking for, and you may not even really be looking for it. And I know I had a conversation with actually when I did this the first time, my homegirl Cassandra. She helped me test the show, and she made a comment that she felt that women cheat emotionally, and men more so. And I could be quoting her wrong, and she can check me if she won't. I mean, I could be wrong, but the way I took it, and I know some other men took it as if men more so cheat just to be cheating. Um, on more of a physical type, and that's how we kind of looked at it. But I feel like men can cheat emotionally just the same. I mean, even though men don't put their emotions out as much as women, um, the fact that a man, if they take the time to tell you how they feel, and if you don't respond to them, and somebody else is out here just willing to just show them that attention, you
Mm-hmm.
might lose them. I mean, unfortunately, you just might lose them. Yeah, again, I'm not an advocate saying that it's right, but I feel like many times when it comes down to cheating, both people play a part. And folks say, I should have been a man and I shouldn't have did it. I should have just left. I mean, there's situations where some people just don't leave. I mean, you get into a marriage and you had kids and you're used to this and you're used to that, so on and so forth. People take that risk. And I mean, really, you run into that. And I know my thing is still gonna be freezing. Gotta love this camera. Um, but people will take that risk to do whatever they might be able to get away with. And unfortunately, I mean that's how it is. But if folks make sure they're paying attention to the other person, I mean, the perfect marriage, which nobody's marriage is perfect, is or a relationship period. If your main one of your main focuses in that relationship between you and that other person. If you're focused on their wants and needs and they're focused on your wants and needs, y'all shouldn't have no problems. But unfortunately, people too selfish to even,
No, that's true.
uh, yeah, people too selfish to give in to somebody else's needs. And I mean, I get it if they're not doing what you want them to do. I understand the pushback in that. Definitely understand that. But
I'm gonna
but
say
yeah,
I have something else. There
okay,
are
go
far
ahead.
more people out here cheating than there are people who are actually putting their foot down and leaving relationships.
True.
That I know to be actual factual. There are a whole lot more people just out here cheating because it's easy. It's easy to it's cheaper to keep up than actually leaving relationships and being the bigger person and voicing their concerns and their desires. And if they're not met, leaving. I don't know too many people, to be honest, that do that. Honestly.
Yeah, and thing too, I mean, a lot of people aren't leaving because of once you get married and you're used to, especially depending on how long you've been in that relationship, once you're used to a certain lifestyle or a certain, you know, basically really is the lifestyle. I mean, trying to keep the kids together, is it a good thing? No. It's not always a good thing to be trying to make something work, especially if it's, runs down into your kid's life and then they also witness what's going on because you might ruin them for their future on how, because I mean, at the end of the day, if we're real about it, being parents, we are our children's first thought when it comes to marriage, what they saw in this marriage and what to kind of expect. I mean, a man should be teaching his son how to be a man, how to be a good husband, the wife doing the same thing to the daughters. And if they see you doing all these other things and they're going to mimic you when they grow up and they're going to remember what and how they were raised. I mean, so that's the biggest thing. I keep looking at my phone because I'm trying to check information. Q agree with me. He said bingo. What numbers you got? N31? Just that was lame. My bad. My frat said he jumped on and said side chicks got responsibilities too. They do. That's why they try to mess with married men because they want that extra money and they got bills to pay. And they get the money. That's what they do. So that is very true. Let me see if I got any more comments on here real quick before I go up. All right. All right. Said you can't make someone cheat. It's all about the mindset and consistency. It's hard to be honest, and yes, folks are willing to take that risk. True. I mean, yeah, you can't make them. You can assist them. I hear assisting them like John Stockton, or you know, it's very easy to push somebody away. Let me see. Got another comment. Devon said it's very easy to get comfortable in a relationship and not be completely happy. Very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see. Q said very true. Now that you can only talk for so long and things don't change, you should leave instead of getting caught. And now you look like the bad guy.
Absolutely. But like I said, nobody's doing that. I don't know. I can't honestly say that I know anybody who has said, you know what, this relationship, this marriage is not working for me. I'm no longer happy. We don't communicate. We don't really consider one another. I'm leaving. It never happens like that. That's why you usually end up with all these crazy ass, bad ass breakups because now y'all arguing, y'all disrespecting each other, y'all doing it. So now you step outside of the house for your happiness because you do not want to be uncomfortable. And that discomfort comes from having that open communication and talking to your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever and saying, look, this doesn't work for me. This no longer works for me. And you should be okay with that. But cheating is always the first option because you do not want to cause trouble at home or separate the kids or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that that's an easy thing to do, but
No, it's easy to do. That's why it's done.
I'm just I'm just saying
you,
it's
you
not
mean it's not? You're not saying it's the right thing to do, is what you're
it's
saying.
not. I don't think it's the easiest thing to do, especially when you're married, to just completely be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out of here, because you got to go through some stuff to get a divorce. But the first option usually is cheating. I'm gonna go get me somebody else. I'm gonna have me a side chick or a side guy and be done with it. But it usually stems from somewhere. And that's why I say the whole make. We just don't take the time to look into ourselves or see what type of person we are to our partner to determine if I was the cause. We don't like to own that because the first thing we going to say is, I didn't make you cheat. You cheated because you wanted to. Uh huh. Okay. Um, so it's just some things to consider. We are human beings. I don't know no damn robots or nobody that's perfect or nobody that can just say, I didn't raise an eyebrow to the thought of cheating. But when it gets to that point, you definitely should leave. If it's consistent like that, where you are just consistently unhappy, you should voice that concern and start to plan an exit. I don't know nobody to do that. I
Ah,
know people who just, like I said, take the easier approach, the path of least resistance, and just go ahead and
silly.
cheat and risk getting caught. And that's that. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just more of a realist. It sucks to say, and nobody wants to be accountable for their participation in that faulty crap in your relationship. But when you do that, again, no, you're not making a person go and jump in somebody's bed. Ultimately, that is that their decision, but you could have encouraged that decision also.
All
So
right, so I'm gonna hit these last two comments and then we moving on. All right, so Jason stated, I think if you cheat, it's because you wanted to, and you use the excuse of you made me cheat.
okay.
All right, and then last on this one, Q stated, people don't leave because some people are in relationships for all the wrong reasons, whether it's the money or what the person provides, but that's a totally different topic.
I agree, Q. I definitely agree.
That is true. All right, so since we already on cheating,
Oh goodness.
so we're gonna jump to the next thing, and this was posed from one of our homies last time. She stated, "How do you trust again after infidelity, or can you?" I added the "or can you." So, I mean, I think it's you're able to trust again. I mean, as Queen stated, if you really look at the reasons, I think that if somebody comes to you, or your partner comes to you and say, "Hey, you know what? I cheated, and this is why I cheated." If they don't tell you why, you should ask. Anybody, in my opinion, you should ask why they cheated. If you don't already know. If you already know, then in my opinion, you really need to think, did you really want to be in that relationship in the first place? If it was something that was going on that to the point where they were bringing something to you and you just weren't acknowledging or not even wanting to even focus on them. I feel like there should be a conversation to discuss why the cheating took place, why, um, I mean, basically verify, ask. And if somebody's going to be 100 with you, are you going to do it again? And that person should say yes or no. Or if they completely got it out their system, if they're putting some blame on you because you have some blame, you can work it out. I think it's something that can be worked out depending on the circumstances of the matter. Um, I mean, it's all depends on the people, but it's a tough pill to swallow, probably. Um, it's possible. I don't think you should just automatically give it up, but again, that depends on what took place, what caused it to take place. I mean, truly, what built it up? What did you do, if anything, to assist in them and pushing them into the arms of somebody else? That's just me, my thoughts. Me and my hands, bam.
Ah, okay. What's the question again? I
I
need
said,
you.
how do you trust again after infidelity, or can you?
I think you can. I think there's a lot of work that is involved with that. Rebuilding trust does take a lot of work, and both people have to be working towards that. I think oftentimes when a man cheats,
Or a woman?
or woman, but I'm speaking from a woman. But when a man or when someone cheats, I think the other person, the cheatee, has um, really held this person accountable for restoring everything. And I don't think it should be that way. I think it should be both parties are participating in restoring that relationship. And that doesn't happen most of the time. Most of the time, it's the woman is nagging so much or she's so angry with you because you cheated that she makes your life miserable. And ultimately, excuse me, ultimately, it's like, damn, I'm just gonna leave because if I have to live with you every day because of the fact that I cheated and now every day I'm walking in the house and you like, let me smell your Johnson, or let me see your phone, or whatever the case may be, it should not be that way. I think both parties should be active participants in restoring that trust. And it should be an effort on both parties when the cheating happens. It's definitely work. You can't just say, okay, you cheated on me, we're gonna go to sleep tomorrow, everything is gonna be okay, because now that trust is broken. That part sucks because I've been through that. But that part sucks where you are kind of forced to try to trust someone that is really throwing your trust in the garbage. Now you digging for it and you're like, I can't find it, but I'm gonna try to find it. So I think it can be. I definitely think it can be restored, but both parties have to be involved in the restoration process of that trust.
And something you did say, I think that's key when trying to make the relationship work. If you plan to forgive somebody, don't keep bringing it up.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
if you keep
Forgive them.
bringing it up, you didn't forgive them.
Right.
Now, nobody's saying forget that it took place, but don't keep bringing it up because that's not going to help you build your relationship back strong. Like it, I guess I can't even say like it was before because who knows how it was prior to that, but it's not going to basically help you build your relationship back up. So if you're going to if you're going to forgive somebody, forgive them. Don't nag about it. Don't keep bringing it up. Move on.
And
And
if
let's
you're
go from
not,
here.
hit the dough. It's okay. It's okay. And oftentimes we don't do that. We don't, especially women. And we talk about this all the time in my little circle, whatever. We don't do that. We don't set our boundaries or set our expectations, our standards. We don't draw a line in the sand and say, this is something that I'm not going to deal with. If you know that it's something that you can't deal with, then it is okay to leave. It is completely okay to leave. You are not obligated to stay in a relationship with the trust is gone and you're unhappy. And we don't do that. I'm so sorry, but I hate the fact that we, and I mean we, of the feminine species, we don't
Oh,
do that.
okay.
We don't do that. We don't leave. We give it time and time and time again. And then we make the person that we're with miserable. We do. And again, that can be something that can contribute to the reasoning behind the cheat in the first place. But I'm going to shut up. But yes, you can restore.
All right. So before we leave this one, look, we got one comment off this one. People ain't like this question, clearly. But Jason states, yes, but it depends if you or your partner wants to. Communication has to increase, and you have to be willing to hear the bad to get back to the good.
Absolutely,
And
Jason.
that's definitely true. So we're gonna go ahead and move on, and this is gonna be fun.
No.
I think. I think it's gonna be fun. So next question states, can you date a person who is financially unstable? Now, before you respond, I need to look at my phone because I found this list. There were 21 items on this list that actually made me question myself when I started dating. It could be why I was single for so long. But 21 things, so bear with me here. So the first one stated, you sometimes need to borrow to make your budget. So basically what it's saying, if you fall underneath any of these 21 things, you, sir, you, ma'am, are unstable. You hear me? You're
Who
unstable.
wrote this article?
Uh, some dude named Jeff Rose back in 2015. It's kind of old, but I mean,
What
hey,
corporation is he over? I'm
he
sure
said,
that's
you silly.
because I read the list and
Yeah. It
yeah.
says number two, your emergency fund is non-existent or close to empty. You're maxed out on one or more credit cards. Your credit score has been dropping. Not mine. You live in mortal fear of losing your job. Now that I mean, we can talk about that. You fantasize about having better finances. I don't agree with that. I'll say that, and I'll say why later. You're already pretty certain you won't even be able to retire. Yeah. You lose sleep over finances more than occasionally. That after you pay your bills, you're broke. You've borrowed money from family or friends. I don't agree with that either. You seriously considered bankruptcy or debt management. You've recently been denied credit. You avoid money discussion with others, even your spouse. That right there is a problem. You've had to delay or eliminate an important major purchase. You seem to have more stuff than your income would suggest. You're planning yet another debt consolidation. Late fees and overdrafts are all in a day's work. You intentionally slide bills into the next month. Been there before. You defer maintenance projects on your home and car. You're going without a significant type of insurance coverage. And you're not certain you'll be able to make your next month's house
Oh, Jesus.
payment or rent. So after all those, there have been some, not now, but in my past when I was single. So, of course, going back to the question, can you date a person who's financially unstable? And after reading these things, I guess I think for men, we tend to date women that whether or not they're financially stable or not because we're willing to take a chance on them. Plus, we're supposed to be the breadwinners, take care of them, so on and so forth. I think men are a little bit more lenient with that. I think for women, yeah, they probably really won't go for it as much. But I know when I met my wife, I mean, I was on that list of things. Um, I know even though I work in auto insurance, for those that know me, I'm a claim rep. And I went for 5+ years without car insurance on my car. Luckily, I never had an accident, but it was just an extra bill that I didn't want to pay for. And looking back now, I'm glad I never got in an accident because you can get sued, like sued really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some. Um, but I mean, there's been things, I've done before, and I'm sure we've all done it, or majority of us, slid bills into the next month because we didn't want to pay it, or, maxed out a credit card, or, there's a lot of stuff on there that would say that you're financially unstable. I think the borrowing money from family, I guess it depends on how often you're borrowing money. If you're borrowing money all the time, then that's a problem. But I think it can be an issue, of course, dating some women since I'm speaking from the male point of view. If my lady never has money, or if she's, because I know people talk about credit scores, and honestly, I never thought about credit scores when I was getting married. um, because mine wasn't the greatest. It wasn't horrible, but I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was like in the fives, like mid fives. So I mean, I wasn't the greatest when I thought about getting married, but um, I think if there's a plan to get out of those things and coming together with somebody, if y'all gonna be working on getting out of that, because I had to do that before, and my wife took a chance on me, and look where we are now. We good. Um, I could date somebody if it came down to it. I could. I just think that they would have to have a plan set, on how they're going to get out of this financial instability state, as you say. All right, Queen, I'm done talking. I talked enough.
The person described on the list sounds like Jesus H. Christ himself. Oh my God. I don't think I know anybody who meets the criteria of the list, honestly. I think that's a lot to ask for because I think every person of color that I know, and maybe I should have X'd the of color, but that sound like, Anyway, um,
It's a stereotype.
it
Take it
probably
back.
is. It probably is, but I don't know anybody who does not meet numbers 1 through 21 at some point in their lives. I'm not saying everything has to be that way currently, but to answer the question, I think it just depends. I think, like you said, men are more willing to entertain a woman who is not financially stable, and I think that just has something to do with gender roles and all that. But um, for me, it's pretty important. And again, this was another Facebook post that I got hammered on because then I became a gold digger. A woman has to be a gold digger because she requires that the person that she's dating at least have some type of financial stability. Um, because in my household, in my life, I would prefer to date a man who is okay with being the head of the household, who is able to contribute substantially um, to our household. So, and again, it all depends on the circumstances. A lot of the time, women meet guys and they feel like they have to be loyal up front. If your financial status is not up to par when I meet you, I'm not obligated to move forward with you. I could say, I'm not about carrying you right now. Now, if we've developed this relationship and you've fallen off and all that, of course, I'll hold you down. We are supposed to do that together. But if I meet you And you talking about I'm in between jobs. The last job I had was 6 years ago, and you and you ain't been in no school or nothing.
Yeah, out here playing Santa, doing
Yeah,
seasonal jobs.
no, I think that should be honestly it should be a requirement for a woman, and I'm only speaking from a woman, but I do think it should be a requirement for that woman to expect her man to be financially stable, or at least have the ability to contribute a steady stream of income. Again, we know that things happen. In the event that something were to happen, we gonna work together. But when I meet you and that's your story, I'm not obligated to move forward with you. So for me, I'm gonna say that it's a big hindrance up
Okay.
front.
And I got a
Later on,
couple
okay, but up front, you know.
comments here. So said not in a long term relationship if they don't show promise in creating more income, unless you plan on making them a stay at home girlfriend, wife, two incomes and future planning with kids, education, etc. is great. Depends on your income. I ain't having no stay at home girlfriend. Hey.
I don't know about a stay-at-home girlfriend, but I
Hey,
mean,
look. Hey, she
you
better
ain't
be a
tricking anybody.
wife, boy. Hey, said, hey, you got that bank though. I ain't mad at you, bruh. You can have a stay at home girlfriend. I can't do it. uh, Q said, I think I can date a woman or date a woman who's not financially stable, money, but marrying a woman, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Hmm, okay, I
That's
get that.
good job, Q.
Oh, hold on, got one more here. I think, yeah. Okay, Dion states, yeah, instability could be a temporary thing. Some people just need to be shown the way, and that's very true. And I did have a question for you since you had mentioned, that long list. You didn't kind of agree with all that, and most people don't fit in there.
That's
So,
Jesus.
yeah. So, in your mind, what's uh what's financially stable? Like at the minimum level, what's
I mean, just
financially stable?
just the ability, like I said, the ability to generate a steady stream of income consistently would be
Okay.
helpful. Um, like I said, if it's always something, because money could really affect a marriage ultimately.
Oh
Money
yeah.
issues could really affect a marriage. And I'm not saying you're supposed to be perfect. That list, that's Jesus. That's I don't know anybody like that. But if you are coming into it and it's steadily something, that's going to be a red flag for me. If it's like, yeah, I'm just down on my luck, I just need to hold something, especially if we're meeting each other. Instead of me continuously giving it to you, I'm probably going to tell you, let's talk about how you manage money. Because you're probably out here going to get, the new Jordans and you ain't paid your rent or whatever the case may be. That's a red flag for me. So I think, to me, most importantly, just being financially stable is just pretty much being responsible and again, being able to produce a steady stream of income, contribute. If you're constantly having money issues, that's a red flag for me. I'm not saying you got to just have it all the time. Everybody doesn't. Everybody's not educated about emergency funds and all of that. Um, and we can learn together. I'm fine with that, all that. But just being able to manage, because I've had financial issues and shit. I still have them sometimes, but um, it just it just depends what your current situation is, and is it always current? If you're always going through some things, you probably living above your means, or something might be going on. But for me, if it's just a consistent problem, especially early on, I'm okay because I can't follow you. I'm okay with my man being the head of the household. I can't follow you. If I'm that's a no
All
no.
right. So we pushing 12 minutes left, and we still got a couple. We got a few different questions on here. I'm gonna skip some of these because we don't personally have enough women listening today.
I'm mad about that.
It's like all dudes. Like your homies didn't show up this time.
I'm really
So
mad
we
about
we gonna we gonna leave off the whole question about the independent woman and all that because I don't have enough women to really respond. I don't have nobody to respond but you. I mean, I
Oh,
can't
I'm not
see.
important.
Well, we want more responses than just yours.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Um, let me see. I'm trying to think. Now, of course, this would be funny since we do have a lot of dudes, and I'm sure a lot of dudes would respond to this. Since clearly this is a question that you asked, and only a woman would think this is even suitable. Clearly, you know my answer. Is sex a suitable gift? So, me being a man, no, no, and no. Especially a married man, that's not a gift. That's a requirement, a repeat requirement. But no, definitely not a gift. Because I think if you start thinking of it as an actual gift, no disrespect to anybody that thinks it's a gift. If you start looking at it as a gift, that means that it's something that you're giving and you can not give. And then we're gonna start having problems because now you're gonna be playing the P game. And you know how that is. A lot of women do that anyway. But still, you're gonna be playing the P game where all that control. And yes, there is control in it, but don't use it for power and try not to give it and give it as a gift, as if you're doing me a favor. I'm just saying. You want to respond, or you want me to hit the comments here? Wifey finally responded. I think she must be done eating now.
I'll respond with a simple no. It's not a gift on either part. Don't bring the same dick that you've been giving me every day and telling me it's a birthday gift. I don't want that. I want something else that I ain't just got yesterday. My birthday wasn't every day, and I get that every day. So no, it's not no. Sex is not a suitable gift. You shouldn't even. I mean, it can be included on a nice night. At the end of the night, we're gonna top this off with some good stuff. But no, that shouldn't be a part of the gift package. No.
Now, Q said, "Hell no." I
Every
knew that
man
was coming.
say no.
Of course not. And then let's see. Wifey said, "No, it shouldn't be considered a gift."
It should be considered a requirement.
Uh, right, boo. Should be a requirement. And you got Rock Solid in the building.
How
Said,
come?
"Hell no, it's no gift. Is my Johnson a gift? Hey,
Nope.
my Johnson's a gift."
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, I'll ask my wife off camera, and if she tells
Okay.
me no, then we're gonna have a problem.
All right.
It's a gift. It can be wrapped in a bow.
You better wrap that thing.
All right, hold on. I got more comments popping up. Hold on, let me scroll down. All right, and Rock Solid came back and stated, but women do it on Valentine's Day.
That's just part of the Valentine's Day package. It's not a gift. It's the end of the night. We wind it down. We done did what we gonna do. It ain't no different than the coochie
See,
that you got the day before.
yeah, see, but on Valentine's Day, it's supposed to be special. So okay, in my opinion,
Mm-mm.
Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, anniversary, birthday, your birthday should all be extra stuff. Even on Fourth of
What's
July,
extra stuff? The
extra
Fourth of
stuff that
July. What you supposed
yeah.
to put
Hey, it's a whole
fireworks
lot of
up?
man. It's fireworks going on, man. It's banging out here. You should be doing extra stuff that you don't normally do. Like go to YouTube. There's so much stuff on YouTube that you can go and do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't do the grapefruit thing on the regular, then
Don't try that. Don't you tell
you
the
need to
women
be
not to.
doing that on his birthday, for Christmas,
Don't do that.
for Thanksgiving, so he can have something else to be thankful for.
I'm gonna call the women up here. Don't do that. Do not try that at home, ladies. Do not do the grapefruit. No, you don't.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. See, my wife laughed. She thought it was funny.
Don't do that.
Hold
Don't
on,
say
let me see. I'm gonna get back to the comments real quick. Dion said, "Nah, bruh, gifts are not given often, and I need it often." That is true. See,
see. It ain't no
it,
gift. You're
let me
supposed to
see.
give it
Hold
out
on.
anyway.
And, oh, hold on. I done skipped. Let me bounce back. Bounce back. All right. My friend said, "I'm cool as long as it's not the basis of the gift." So I agree. There should be extra stuff. See, there
Man,
you go.
the cootie cat is just a nice little tingle at the end of the night. That's not a gift.
It could be extra. Let's see. Wifey said, "We might be in the delivery room on Valentine's Day. You better take this baby as a gift."
I know that's right.
You know what?
Happy
That
Valentine's.
was look. That was a gift from God.
Yeah, that's a gift. You got your present.
Mm-mm. I didn't. Roxana said, "But what do women do on Valentine's Day? You can't regift the same gift." But they do. They do. You get the same gift on your birthday.
I'm just saying. Right. And on Christmas and
That's why I say.
Thanksgiving.
That's why I say you gotta keep it going. See, my wife came back and said she wasn't laughing at me. She was laughing at the wrapping it up in the bow. Oh, okay.
Better
Well,
put a
it's
bow on
almost.
that thing.
Hey, look, it's almost Christmas. I got a gift for you.
Uh-uh. Return to sender. Okay.
Hey now. All right, so we go keep this moving because this time is running. Let me think. What else should I bring up? Um, okay, I'll go ahead and shoot with this one. This was actually from Q asking from the last time we did the show. Does kids outside of marriage make it hard to date? So you want to start?
Are we talking about like a blended family?
I
Is
mean, any kind of way. I mean, because it's all gonna be the same. I mean, if it's a single guy, I mean, I start personally before I got married. Um,
it's
I rarely dated females with kids. I uh, I got criticized for it because I chose not to really deal with females with kids as much because of all the drama that could come along with it. And then the other I've dealt with stuff in the past, not with kids necessarily, but when dating and had people had like younger siblings, and then those younger siblings get attached, and then y'all break up, and now these young folks are affected, and it was tough on me with some of the people I dated because of the younger kids that were involved, and I kind of started to steer away in regards to those type of ordeals. But then also in the fact of dealing with folks with kids, just dealing with baby daddy, baby mama. Well, not for me, baby daddy. I'm sorry, the baby mama. Wait, yeah, baby daddy. I'm tripping. The baby daddy being there, and you know how some men are. They don't want to be with you, but then you get with somebody else and now they got a problem. So now you got to worry about dealing with their attitudes, and you better not be calling that dude daddy, and so on and so forth. And I would never disrespect a man, especially he's taking care of his kid. That's your father. And if it came to a blended family, which blended families are hard. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to try to figure out if you do blend a family, you know, can I whoop this kid? Is the mama okay with me disciplining this kid? And so on and so forth. And is that kid gonna be, hit you with that, you ain't my daddy, then I'm gonna punch him in the throat, especially if he old enough. But, just different things like that. And just having to, I mean, at the time, like I said, I was single, didn't have kids, not really wanting to deal with somebody else's child, and of course, so many women will take the side of their child and start putting that child first, or treating, well, I won't say many, some women will start maybe allowing that child to do things and get away with things that me being the man of the house, I don't agree with. And there could be that issue right there that the woman might not agree with me, and now, yeah, this is her son or daughter or whatever the case may be. And it was just always trying to prevent myself from dealing with certain things. I mean, some people could say it was a cop out. It is what it is. I did what I wanted to do. I didn't want to necessarily deal with kids. Plus, no kids around that weren't mine. It was a freedom to be able to do and go wherever we wanted to go versus always having to deal with babysitters and so on and so forth. Got to go home early because such and such. Nothing against folks with kids, but it was just, I just wanted to live that free life without having to deal with that type of responsibility at the time. Now, at this late in age, I mean, I'm 36, be 37 next year. Granted, I don't look it, I still look 25. But
Okay.
uh, but if I was dating now, then I mean, honestly, if a female didn't have kids at this age, I'm not gonna say anything like wonder what's wrong with them, but it's more. I have a totally different mindset now because of the fact that I wouldn't mind dealing with that because if I didn't have kids at that time, I did want kids. Luckily, I have my own now, but at the time I was dealing with that, I didn't want to deal with it. My bad. Go ahead. I was just talking.
It's
Then
okay.
we had a bunch of comments come through too. So go ahead, say your piece.
Well, you know, as a woman, I'm gonna feel however I come with kids. Okay. Um. So that's never really been an issue for me. Um. My husband and I have 7 kids together. So dealing with the whole blended family thing, it's very tough, but nonetheless, it's doable. Again, being a woman, my perspective is going to be different. You do have a lot of guys out here that are like, I'm not dating no woman with no kids, and that can be your own personal preference. I've never really had an issue. I've always looked at where you are in the lives of your children. I do consider that part. I can't date a man who's not actively involved in his children's lives. So that would be the only complicated thing for me, but it's doable. I'll say it's doable. I don't think it necessarily not for me. It doesn't necessarily complicate things. I just look at the circumstances of your situation. So that's it. That's it for me.
All right, so I'm gonna hit these last few comments, then we're gonna hop up off here because it's about my son's bedtime and he wants me to read him a book, so I'm gonna have to leave y'all in a minute. So, my frat stated, when I was young with no kids, the criticism from family was the worst, which is why I chose to not be as serious with a woman who has children. Plus, the baby daddy is an issue.
Hmm.
Yeah, many times. And let's see, hold on, got another comment here. Oh, hold on, let me keep scrolling up. All right, here we go. Dion stated if both have kids, it's not too bad because there should be a mutual understanding. I think it's difficult when one of the involved parties has kids and the other one doesn't.
Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely.
Very difficult. And let's see. And looks like last comment that's on here. Q. Yeah, hold on. Try to click on that again. All right, here we go. Q state there's the baby daddy or mama drama that could occur, or it's hard sometimes to plan a date when you have to get babysitters or kids have things going on, so you can rarely get away. So many obstacles. And I mean that's basically what I said. I mean you got a lot of. I mean it's a lot. I mean you really have to want to date somebody with kids and be willing to go that route. I mean it's a beautiful thing. I mean if you don't have kids, can't have kids. I mean, I've met people with some wonderful kids. Um, I mentor and I deal with a lot of young men that, if I would have started having kids a little earlier in life, they could be those ages and, I wouldn't have minded them being, my sons. I mean, it's some cool kids out here. Um, but, of course, like I said, back in the day when I was single, I wasn't trying to be nobody's daddy. At the time, I was too busy trying to have fun and enjoy myself, and just basically just trying to do my thing and get with somebody that had that freedom to be able to just shake and move, and hey, if we want to go out, let's go out. If you want to come over, stay the night, it's too early to be yawning. You better stop it. You an hour behind us.
Mm-mm. It's 8 o'clock. 8
That's
o'clock. That's bedtime.
yeah. I hear you. And then look like another comment from Q. And I'm gonna cut this off. Q said, if you accept her, you have to accept the kids too. No
Mm-hmm.
doubt.
That's
That's and
true.
that's true.
Thank you.
So all right, so we're gonna hop off here. We're gonna try to shoot for another show. We're gonna try to do these on Tuesdays. Might be the easiest days. We used to do it on Hump Day, which was always fun. So we might switch it up. We'll see what happens next week if we do it on Tuesday, Wednesday. Have some fun. But if you got some topics, shoot them to me. Anybody that's on here, y'all my friends. So hit me with a topic. I'll bring it up to discuss. Or if you follow the Queen, hit her with some, and we can make it happen. Bring it up. Get us some good topics that's really gonna have folks wanting to talk. And then one of these times, we probably gonna end up bringing somebody on here. We're gonna get another third person on here as a guest. Come on and talk. Y'all ain't just gotta type. If you ain't scared to be on the camera, get your hair cut, shave your face, get your wig did or put your wig on, put your makeup on, all that fun stuff. Grab you a drink, grab you a beer, whatever. Join the party, have some fun. We appreciate y'all watching. Keep following us. If you haven't already, follow Sincerely Speaking on our Facebook page. That's SYNCERELY. Then speaking. You know how to spell that. We holla.